Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about something maybe you've experienced. You have just a little bit of alcohol, maybe, a single glass of wine, maybe less, and bam, your face gets hot, your ears are burning, maybe bright red cheeks, heart starts racing a bit. It can feel pretty weird, maybe even embarrassing sometimes, but it's actually super common. And it's definitely not just some random fluke your body's having. What's really fascinating is that there's a solid genetic reason behind this alcohol flush reaction. So tonight we're going to explore the science behind it, really understand why it happens. And look, it's more than just how you look. It's actually your body sending you some pretty important signals. Now, why should you care? Why pay attention to this? Well, for a really significant chunk of the population, especially people with East Asian ancestry, we're talking like 30, maybe even 50% this flush. It's a direct biological clue about how their specific body handles alcohol. And just kind of pushing through it, ignoring that signal, especially if you drink regularly, that can actually lead to some quite serious health risks down the road. So the goal here is pretty simple, helping you understand what your body might be telling you so you can make smarter choices when it comes to drinking. All right, so let's get into the mechanics. How does this actually work? Well, when you drink alcohol, which is ethanol, your body immediately starts breaking it down. And the very first step in that process, it converts that ethanol into a chemical called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde, remember that name because it's the key player here. It's kind of the villain in this story. See, acetaldehyde is actually toxic. It's a harmful byproduct. And it's that substance that causes all those nasty symptoms we talked about. The flushing, the redness, maybe feeling nauseous, getting a headache, that rapid heartbeat. Yeah, not fun. Now, normally, your liver has this amazing enzyme. It's called ALDH2. You could think of ALDH2 as like the cleanup crew. Its main job is to jump on that toxic acetaldehyde and convert it really quickly into something harmless called acetate, which your body can then easily get rid of, no problem. And this is the crucial part. A lot of people, particularly, again, those of East Asian descent, have a specific genetic variation. This variation affects their ALDH2 gene. And what it means is their version of that cleanup enzyme, ALDH2, doesn't work properly. It might be really slow, or in some cases, almost inactive. So what happens when they drink? Well, that acetaldehyde doesn't get cleared out efficiently. It starts to build up in their system, sometimes really, really quickly, even after just a small amount of alcohol. And that rapid accumulation of acetaldehyde, that's what triggers those visible and felt reactions, the red face, the racing heart, feeling dizzy, feeling sick. It's a direct response. So your body isn't being dramatic. It's literally reacting to a toxin hanging around your bloodstream for too long. It's a protective mechanism in a way. Okay, so the big question then becomes, is this flush actually dangerous? Well, look, if you flush occasionally after, say, one drink, on its own, that's probably not a major immediate health crisis. But here's where it gets serious. It's the pattern of regularly drinking, especially drinking heavily, despite getting that flush reaction. That's where the real risks start to pile up. Research has shown pretty clearly that people with this less active ALDH2 enzyme, if they're also moderate to heavy drinkers, they have a significantly higher risk, and I mean significantly higher, of developing certain types of cancer, specifically esophageal cancer. The link there is quite strong and well documented. It's not a small increase in risk we're talking about. And why? It comes back, again, to that lingering acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is actually classified as a known carcinogen. That means it's a substance capable of causing cancer. When your body can't clear it out quickly, it hangs around causing trouble. It can damage your DNA, it promotes inflammation, causes stress on your cells, and over time, with repeated exposure, well, the damage can accumulate. So yeah, that flush, it's way more than cosmetic. Think of it as an early warning system, a really important one that you should probably listen to. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, I get the flush, but there's more. Like even with just a tiny bit of alcohol, you feel just sort of off. Maybe you feel tipsy way faster than your friends. Or the hangover the next day is brutal, even from one or two drinks. Perhaps you get headaches really easily, or feel super tired. Maybe you experience sudden mood swings, or your heart pounds, or you feel a wave of anxiety after drinking. It's really important to understand this isn't because you're weak or somehow broken when it comes to alcohol. Not at all. It's often just another manifestation of that same underlying biological difference in how your body processes alcohol. That pesky acetaldehyde lingering around can mess with all sorts of systems in your body, which makes those reactions that might seem outsized to others completely understandable from a biological perspective. So, what can you actually do about this if you experience the flush? Well, the first thing to know is because it's genetic, there's no magic cure. You can't just switch off the flush reaction completely, but that definitely doesn't mean you're helpless. There are absolutely things you could do to work with your body and minimize the unpleasant effects. Some really practical strategies. First, slow down your drinking. Way down. Pace yourself. Put more time between drinks. This gives your liver, even a slower one, more time to try and keep up. Also, pay attention to your environment and what you're eating. Spicy foods, sometimes even just being in a hot room, can make flushing worse for some people. Staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water, and making sure you eat something before you start drinking. That can help too, often by slowing alcohol absorption a bit. But maybe the single most important thing is just knowing your limit, recognizing that signal the flush and respecting it, listening to your body. If you start flushing, it's a pretty clear message to, maybe switch to water for a while or just call it a night. Now, let's say you're someone who is actively trying to drink less overall, or you just want to feel better on the occasions you do choose to have a drink. There are some interesting supportive tools or ingredients you might look into. These aren't cures, remember, but they might help manage things. For example, there's a compound called DHM, or dihydromyricetin. It comes from vine tea extract. Some early research suggests DHM might actually support your liver enzymes, potentially helping speed up that acetaldehyde breakdown just a bit. It also seems to act as an antioxidant, helping reduce something called oxidative stress, that cell damage, which might contribute to a smoother feeling the next day. Another thing to consider is vitamin B12. Alcohol consumption can actually interfere with how your body absorbs B12. And B12 is really important for energy levels and mental focus. So ensuring you have adequate B12 might help combat some of that post-drinking fogginess and fatigue. And lastly, there's L-Theanine. It's an amino acid often found in tea. L-Theanine is known for promoting a sense of calm and focus. It might help take the edge off any post-drinking jitters or anxiety, helping you feel a bit more clear-headed. You can sometimes find these ingredients like DHM, B12, L-Theanine combined in supplements designed for people who want to drink smarter or support their recovery. Again, the idea isn't to enable heavy drinking, but rather to offer some support for your body if and when you do choose to drink moderately. So who is this information really for? Who should be tuning in? Well, obviously, if you're someone who gets that classic red face, that flush, after even a small amount of alcohol, yeah, this is definitely for you. Also, if you just generally feel like alcohol affects you more negatively or disproportionately compared to other people, this information could be very relevant. And certainly, if you know you have East Asian heritage, or you just suspect you might have this ALDH2 gene variation, this is particularly important stuff to understand. But honestly, I think anyone who's just curious about their body, about understanding its signals, especially concerning something as common as alcohol, anyone who wants to make more informed, healthier choices for themselves could probably find this useful. So let's wrap this up. The main takeaway here is this. If you experience the alcohol flush, please know, first, you're absolutely not alone. And second, it's not something imaginary or something you should just tough out or ignore. It's a genuine biological response, a clear signal from your body based on your genetics. And understanding that reaction, understanding what it means, that's truly the first, maybe the most critical step towards making healthier decisions around alcohol for you. So maybe here's something to chew on. What is your body trying to tell you? Really take a moment sometime to consider how your unique biology might be influencing your experience with alcohol. It can really shift your perspective. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.